Oh, he's doing the old Anderson Silva. That's what Anderson Silva did.
I honestly cannot believe what we just witnessed, boys. We might have just seen one of the biggest flops of all time, and no, we're not talking about LeBron James. If you guys watched my last video on this situation, the Logan Paul video that I made, then you would know that I absolutely went in on Logan Paul and his fiance. There was no holding back. Now, I'm not taking back anything I said on those two in the Logan Paul video. We don't do that over here on this channel. But what I am willing to do is admit when I'm wrong. And in my last video on this topic, I do believe I said that I thought Dillon Danis was gonna win, purely based off the mental aspect of this entire situation. I thought Logan Paul was gonna let the emotions get the best of him. I thought maybe he was gonna be too aggressive because he wanted to knock out Dillon Danis so bad that might leave him open for a few good punches from Dillon. But oh man, was I wrong. Not only did Dillon Danis lose this fight, but he got his ass kicked, and it wasn't even close. But we'll talk about the fight and what transpired after that in just a minute. But really quickly, I want to talk about some of the information we talked about in my last video, because in my last video on this topic, at the very end, we talked about the lawsuit that Nina had apparently made against Dillon Danis for posting all of those pictures. And considering it's now been over a month since all that information came out, you would think that we would hear something new about it. But as a matter of fact, as soon as the fight happened, it's like Dillon Danis just stopped talking about it. And now that we really know what type of person Dillon Danis is, it leaves me wondering how much of that information is actually true, because the only information we actually have about that lawsuit is what we heard about it from Dillon Danis. Logan Paul and Nina haven't said shit about it. Now that does make sense. If they did do a lawsuit against him, their lawyers would tell them not to talk about it, especially on the internet. And although I do still believe that the lawsuit is a real thing, again, now seeing what kind of person Dillon Danis is really leaves me wondering how much of the information that we got is true. Although this video looks like it was filmed on the original iPhone, which you couldn't even take videos with unless you jailbroke it, we do have this seemingly real video of Dillon Danis apparently getting served.
Oh, hey, sir. I have a document for you.
What's up, for?
Mr. Danis?
That's on me.
Yes, that is. I know it's.
What's up, man?
It's yours, sir. You gotta take it, sir.
Are you doing the law or not?
I'm a profit server. There you are, sir.
Yeah, come to my building.
There you are. You got your document. It's undocumented. It's documented, Mr. Danis. Mr. Danis, documented. You gotta take it.
We also have this video of Dillon Danis claiming that this lawsuit is going to cost him almost $500,000 in lawyer's fees alone.
Where I'm at right now, I think he doesn't want to fight me. I think he's just trying to get me to pull out somehow, so then he looks like the hero, you know? I don't know, it's bullshit. Because this is all going through him, you know? And even if I win the case, right, I still have to pay over $400,000 in just attorney fees, lawyer fees, so it's like, just bullshit. When I'm promoting a fight, this is the biggest fight he's ever done, or event he's ever done, and I made the whole event. Like, it's just bullshit, man.
Well, you did make the event interesting, I'll give you that.
So for the sake of this video, boys, let's just say that both of these videos are real. Well, according to Dillon Danis, he made just over $1 million just from this fight alone. But again, if Dillon Danis is telling the truth, you have to instantly take away 400 grand out of that total. So not including tax, and considering the fact that he lives in New Jersey, tax is probably a lot, but not including tax, he probably made around $800,000 from this fight. And don't get me wrong, that is obviously an insane amount for one boxing match. But if bro would have showed up that night and actually fought Logan Paul, not only would he have made $800,000 from that fight, but he would also still have people supporting him. Now all he has is $800,000 and a bunch of people that don't fucking like him. And maybe he doesn't give a fuck. But if that's the case, he better be investing that $800,000 because that shit can disappear really fast. And Dillon Danis is 31, so unless he plans on continuing to fight until he's like 40, I sure hope he knows how to invest. At the end of my last video that I made on these two, we talked about these nukes that Dillon Danis apparently had on Nina. He was claiming he had these videos or pictures of Nina that would absolutely break the internet, ruin Logan Paul's relationship, and end the fight. And in the comment section of that video, a lot of you guys were saying you were curious to see what the big nuke is. And I know a lot of you guys were hoping he would show it. We even saw this clip from Aiden Ross's stream where he had apparently showed Aiden Ross, and even Aiden said it was way too much, way too far.
Bro!
Can I ask you a question? Like...
Oh, no.
No. I know.
Like, can I say that? Like,
Who? I don't know. Is that even worse?
alright.
Yeah.
Bro, what the fuck, bro?
Look, so you know I'm not lying?
Bro, what the fuck, bro?
I told you I wasn't lying. No? Now you get a vouch for me.
No, that is wild, bro. I actually feel really bad.
Tell me if I did. They would pull the fight if I posted it.
Definitely. Like, that's too far.
You think so?
Bro, come on.
Well, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he ever dropped that picture or video or whatever it was. As a matter of fact, around the time that I uploaded my video was around the time that he kind of just stopped talking about it. He didn't even continue to bring up the nuke that he had on her. Now, I'm not gonna lie, some of the pictures that he posted leading up to the fight, even after I made my video, you could probably consider the nuke. He didn't post it and say, here's that picture I've been talking about, but goddamn are some of these pictures wild. So wild that I quite literally can't show you in this video. Even if I wanted to, I would probably lose my whole channel. So even without this big nuke, the shit that he posted about Nina is absolutely insane. But this whole situation just leaves me wondering, was Dillon Danis lying about having this crazy picture or video about Nina just to get even more people interested in the situation and ultimately watching the fight? For the most part, nothing super exciting happened on Twitter after I uploaded my Logan Paul video. Even Dillon Danis went from posting 10 plus things on Twitter to only about 4 or 5, but there were still some pretty funny things being said on Twitter, and now that we know the outcome of the fight, I feel like some of this stuff is even funnier to look at. So on September 16th, which is actually the day I uploaded my video, Dillon Danis hit us with this banger tweet. He says, 100% natural, never taken a performance enhancing drug in my life, and willing to undergo any form of USADA or Olympic testing at any time, any day, fuck the polls. So this is obviously Dillon Danis continuing to accuse Logan of doing some sort of performance enhancer. Now Logan actually did end up responding to the steroid allegations finally, and yes, he did take a test. Keep in mind though, Logan Paul made this video and took this test way after the fight was done and well over a month after Dillon Danis initially accused him of using performance enhancers.
I got my results back from VADA today. I want to address the steroid allegations before you see any news. I want to confess, I have been taking a lot of Prime Energy and putting it in my mouth and then swallowing it, and that gives me a good boost for my workouts, which makes me have a good physique. The results are negative. Haters, you're gonna have to keep trying. No performance enhancing drugs, like I said. Good luck next time though, you fucking dorks.
It seems like he's learned a lot from Nina over the past few months. Putting something in her mouth and swallowing is likely something that she's really good at. Now, I'm not going to accuse Logan Paul of using steroids. And as a matter of fact, in my last video, I said Logan Paul got really big out of nowhere. And I'm not even sure that's entirely true. Taking a look at him during his Floyd Mayweather fight back in 2021, he was pretty fucking big, and I would say pretty close to the way he looks now. And even back in 2019, which I can't believe I'm saying this, was almost 5 years ago, Logan Paul honestly was pretty big even in this video. I just think for a lot of us, we haven't really seen Logan Paul on our screens in years. We haven't paid any attention to what he's been doing, so it looked like he got big really quickly. But this is very clearly at least 5+ years of work put into his body. And we can't fail to mention just how much time and money it takes to look like this. If you're just a normal guy that works a normal job Monday through Friday, you won't nearly have as much time as Logan does to work out. Sure, you can still spend time at the gym or still spend time working out, but for the past 5 or so years, Logan has been basically nothing but a boxer. Of course, he does Prime and all that other stuff, but he's probably spending at least 3 to 4 hours a day working out, which is something you simply can't do unless you have a business or something like that that's making you money on the side. And then of course, like I said, the amount of money you have to spend to keep your body looking like this is actually insane. There's a reason we usually only see rich and famous people this fucking ripped. But with that being said, I find it pretty odd that Logan chose to do it this late after the fight and this late after Dillon Danis brought it up. People were talking about it way more before the fight than after the fight happened. So I just don't understand what made Logan feel like it was necessary to now do it over 10 days after the fight. If anything, this almost makes him look more guilty than than if he would have just not done it. And it looks way weirder doing it now than doing it before the fight. According to Google, steroids stay in your system for about 30 days after use. So who knows if Logan Paul decided to stop when Dillon Danis brought it up so he could take a test a little bit after the fight, knowing it wouldn't be in his system anymore. But something else we need to keep in mind, right now for a lot of people, tren seems to be the thing that they're using as steroids. And again, according to Google, tren only stays in your system for about 3 days. But more interestingly, there are 3 different kinds of tren. One that stays in your system for about 1 to 2 days, another one that stays in your system for about 8 days, and then a third one that stays in your system for about 11 days. And Logan Paul just so happened to post this video getting his results 12 days after the fight. Obviously, I don't know exactly when he got tested, but it's just something to take note of. Of course, Dillon Danis responded to this video from Logan Paul. He said the testing was a joke. Literally, his test after the fight, famously easy to beat. Old man in the room wasn't even paying attention. You're a juice head. And you proved that with the way testing was done. Again, who knows if Dillon is telling the truth here? Bro is just kind of yapping, and his response doesn't really matter anyways at this point. Nobody can take him serious anymore. This reply right here probably sums up every single reply on every tweet he makes since the fight ended. On September 20th, an account with the name Happy Punch posted this video of Logan Paul.
So I finally watched the face-to-face with Dillon, and afterwards I realized there's about 10 minutes of stuff missing, and so I'm starting to think like what was cut, because this is much different than the original version that I watched. Turns out Dillon contacted DAZN. He made them cut his stuttering and stumbling over sentences, looking like a fucking idiot. He made them cut him lying about having some photo and multiple other lies. And most importantly, he made them cut him incriminating himself in a federal crime. I have the version. I have a little clip I've assembled that I'm gonna post tomorrow. But I guess he was right. That shit was edited. But Dillon, don't worry, brother. The people are gonna see it.
Now, this is an absolutely insane statement by Logan for 2 reasons. For one, if you guys remember in my last Logan Paul video, Dillon Danis was absolutely losing his mind, claiming that DAZN, or however you say that shit, cut out a bunch of the face-to-face that made Logan look bad. But now Logan is claiming Dillon did the exact same thing. And that already makes him look bad. It makes him look like a liar, a hypocrite. But now knowing how little of a fight Dillon put up, it really makes him look like a coward. I can't lie about that. But at the same time, Logan is one of the last people that should be talking about who's committing crimes, considering he still hasn't paid back the millions of people he scammed during CryptoZoo. He must think that we all forgot about that already. But let's go ahead and check out this clip that Logan claims Dillon admitted to a federal crime during.
You haven't fought for a long time, June 2019.
I had 2 knee surgeries, major knee surgeries. And he's dealt with knee surgery,
Bro,
so he knows what happened there.
It sounds like you have Conor McGregor's nutsack in your mouth.
Oh, great one, bro. Yeah, good one.
Dude, like,
bro, this guy has retweet.
Watch
just little tweets.
Like that's what I'm saying right there. Like
yeah.
watching you stumble your way through these sentences is painful.
That's fine. Yeah, great. I think you just want to. Yeah, whatever.
Exhibit A.
Yeah, he just recycles lines around from Twitter. It's all bullshit.
What?
You just
you are
recycle
fed all of your content.
Yeah, by who?
Your troll
by who?
army.
That's all me, buddy. You have a writer.
Huh?
You have WWE writers on your payroll.
That's how the company
works. Yeah, so
works.
that I know you're going to be talking all these little stupid lines that he has, you know?
You think I hired a writer?
100% you did.
You're a liar.
I know you better than you know yourself.
8 rounds. You lied about USADA drug testing. We never had that conversation.
Yes, we did.
We never
I could show you the text. I'll send you the text.
We never sent you a cease and desist.
Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Prove it.
I wouldn't even make it up.
Prove.
Okay, I'll
post
it.
Everything
I'll post
up.
it.
What is that picture you're referring
to? I can't.
to?
I would get sued by probably him because he sues people since season and assist.
Who have I sued? I've not sued anyone.
You sent me a f***ing season assist. Wherever the f*** that shit is.
Dylan.
I will prove it. I'll prove it. I will.
Post it then.
I will.
And it's probably going to be Photoshopped. No
Okay,
one's saying shit.
He says everything's Photoshopped.
Cease and desist for what?
I don't even know.
You don't even know.
I don't know what the f*** you sent me that for. I was like, those are real pictures.
Yo, you don't read contracts, huh?
No.
You know what I think, Dylan?
Yeah.
I don't think you have a picture.
I can break it up right now.
Oh, yeah?
Can I show them?
Why don't you post it then?
Because I don't want to get the fight called off. I want to fight you, bro.
Why don't you post a picture?
Because you said that you were going to pull the fight when I was in the
You don't
beginning.
have a picture.
And you're scared if you post it, it calls the fight off.
He was trying to call the fight off when I was posting real pictures. And I wasn't wearing caption. I was just putting pictures.
You're just making up again.
Bro, come on. You know you were trying to pull the fight.
What?
If I didn't take down that picture of her in bed.
Lie.
Okay, when Mams comes, we'll talk to him. Mams won't lie. He called the zone. He said, I'm going to pull the fight. If he keeps talking about my fiance, I'll fight someone else. So I said, okay, I'll stop. I just post real pictures.
It's just misconduct, Dylan. If the promotion doesn't want to work with you because you're a scumbag, that's not my problem.
Do you have a picture?
Yes.
Do you have a picture?
You're lying.
I swear on anything.
So check this out.
I have a picture.
Even if you did, which you don't.
You're telling me you didn't call the zone and try to get the fight pulled.
The fact that you are admitting on Twitter to distributing and sending an explicit image to people is already a crime.
Okay, great, then sue me.
So I dare you.
I got
to
enough
post
money
a
to sue you.
I dare you to fucking.
Go ahead. I got better more. I said I got.
Yo!
I said sue
Get
me.
this man a glass of water.
I know I do.
I'm not gonna lie, boys, that clip is rough for Dillon Danis, especially considering the way he ended up fighting Logan when the time came. He really does look like a Twitter warrior. He's right in front of Logan right now, and he's not saying any of the crazy shit he's been saying on Twitter. But we have to remember this is just a 2.5-second clip of a 30-minute video. 2 minutes out of their 30-minute conversation isn't enough to judge off of, but Logan made quite the deal out of Dillon admitting to a federal crime just for him to post an almost 3-minute clip with only 20 seconds of him actually talking about the crime. And the crime is some shit we already know about. It's about fucking Nina. And the way he's talking about it being a federal crime makes me think he did actually sue Dillon. I might have to take back what I said at the beginning. Maybe Dillon isn't lying. After this, they continued to banter, and of course Dillon continued to post interesting pictures of Nina, but nothing super major happened, just kind of the same old stuff. On September 30th, Dillon Danis tweeted out this picture of somebody claiming that Adam Levine dumped Nina over text before proposing to his ex just weeks later, which is absolutely hilarious and completely reinforces the idea that Nina will hop on any famous or rich dick that she can. The amount of pictures we've seen of her with famous dudes is fucking outrageous. Nina has been riding the rich meat roller coaster for quite a while now. I doubt Logan is gonna be the last one. Logan has had his replies off since early September, and I can only imagine that's because he's putting himself in a funnel of only seeing stuff he wants to see. The reason this isn't affecting him is because he isn't looking at the pictures of his wife being an absolutely legendary street sweeper. He's playing the if I can't see it, it's not real game. Unfortunately, Logan, it's fucking real. Over the next 2 weeks leading up to the fight, Dillon and Logan continue to tweet at each other, and Dillon continues to post pictures of Nina, but they seemingly get worse and worse over these next 2 weeks, like he saved the worst for last. But finally, we're just a few days away from the fight, and on October 12th, just 2 days before the fight, they have their final press conference. And just like the first one, Dillon actually ends up throwing something at Logan Paul again. I know it's hard to see what happened there because it happened so fast, but Logan Paul actually threw something at Dillon first, and Dillon responds with throwing the microphone right at Logan's face and actually hitting him right under the eye. And if Dillon would have actually put up a good fucking fight, this situation right here would have made Logan look like a bitch. He threw something at Dillon, gets something thrown back, and runs away covering his face. But of course, Dillon just had to fuck all of that up. He had all of the momentum going into the fight, and he absolutely shit the bed.
And get a quick word with Logan. Logan, there was some concern about you yesterday. How are you feeling? How was the phase?
No concern. I'm feeling beautiful. Dillon Danis is a coward. He's a predator, and I'm fucking him up, Ariel. I'm fucking him up tomorrow. He's a dirty ass fighter. I got all the goons in case he tries anything funny. In fact, I got Dillon.
The hype being built up for almost 2 months, everybody is expecting a huge fight, and most people thought Dillon was gonna win. Even I, and to an extent that was true. The main problem with this fight is that Dillon showed up not to get knocked out. He didn't show up to knock out Logan. As a matter of fact, Dillon only landed 16 punches, while Logan landed over 100. And the craziest thing about it, Dillon definitely could have won this fight. At first, I only watched the highlights, and it really makes it look like Dillon didn't have a chance of winning the fight. But if you go back and you watch the full fucking fight, Dillon had more than a chance to win. He just didn't throw any punches. He was so afraid to get knocked out by Logan that he wouldn't stop covering his face. He just didn't throw any punches. My theory was almost correct. Logan is wide fucking open in this fight. He's not protecting his face, his body, nothing. Dillon has so many opportunities to connect with a punch punch, but he just never does it. So after all of this, all of that shit talking, Dillon bitched out. I can't fucking stand people like this if I'm being honest. People that talk shit on the internet and can't back it up in real life are some of the biggest pussies in this whole world. I have my own personal experience with a person just like this. That huge fight that I got into that made me a felon at 17, made me get kicked out of high school, forced me to get my GED, made it so I never graduated, was because of someone just like this. Me and this one dude were beefing over the internet. I was telling bro that I'm gonna beat his ass, and he was talking some big shit. He was acting like he was really finna beat me. And when the time came down to it, he got his shit kicked in, sent to the hospital, and the very first thing that this motherfucker does is rat me out to the police. After all that talking shit on the internet, he's the first one to go talk to the cops. So I really feel some type of way about people like this. If you're gonna talk shit on the internet and you don't back it up in real life, you're a bitch. And Dillon Danis is for sure 100% without a doubt a fucking bitch. Bro showed up to that fight to not get knocked out. Wasted everybody's time. And a lot of people spent money to watch that bullshit. And all they saw was you getting your fucking face punched in for 6 rounds straight. And somehow I almost forgot it gets even worse because Dillon didn't even finish out the fight. He attempted to take down Logan and he still gets shrugged off and thrown to the ground like the bitch that he is. That of course is an instant disqualification, and that causes security to come out and flood the ring. And just a few hours after the fight, Dillon was already tweeting saying the security entered the ring multiple times during the fight and that Logan should be disqualified because of that. The only problem is when you waste everybody's fucking time, nobody cares. This is what Logan tweeted right after the fight. He said, honestly, nothing to be proud about. That dude sucks. I'm gonna go back to living my life, but felt good to beat his ass for 6 rounds and let him embarrass himself. Drink prime. Dillon responded and said, a jiu-jitsu guy with no boxing camp or coach made his debut, never wobbled, never dropped, had no standing 8 count, and rocked you multiple times. If I were Nina, I'd call off the wedding. You achieved nothing in your own sport. MMA next. And what's crazy about all of this is if Dillon would have put up a better fight, everybody would be agreeing with him. Everybody would want to see Logan fight him in MMA. But the problem is he put up such a shitty fucking fight, such little effort to actually beat Logan. It was very obvious that he was just there to say he didn't get knocked out so he could say that on Twitter after the fight. Now he's claiming he never had a boxing coach. That's not a fucking excuse, bro. It's not like you randomly started fighting him on the street. We knew this was gonna happen for months. You had months to prepare and you didn't fucking do anything. You just admitted it. There were a couple more things said after the fight between Dillon and Logan, but honestly, who the fuck cares? Dillon just continues to try to defend himself, saying he does mostly jiu-jitsu, but that doesn't give you a right to show up and literally not throw a fucking punch. Dillon Danis did tweet saying he wants to fight Logan in the UFC, and Logan did say if Dillon showed up to the fight, he would fight him in the UFC. But Dillon put up such a shitty fucking fight, Logan has a genuine reason not to fight him in the UFC now. I think either way Logan wouldn't have, but Dillon just gave him a fucking reason. I wouldn't fight you in the UFC now. That shit was a waste of my time. That was a waste of everybody's time. As a matter of fact, the fight was so fucking bad, it doesn't even seem like the UFC even wants Dillon Danis. According to this article that I just saw, Dana White, which I guess is like the owner of the UFC, was asked about Dillon Danis joining the UFC and he basically shrugged it off, saying that he hasn't even thought about it. So it's really sounding like Dillon fucked up everything. From the looks of it, I think he expected after this that the UFC would sign him and Logan would fight him since he showed up to the fight. So he probably figured he's just not gonna get knocked out, say that Logan is a shitty fighter because he couldn't knock him out, and then get a chance to fight Logan in the UFC. But none of that worked out, again, because the fight was so bad. Dillon talked so much shit to do absolutely nothing when the time came to it. And nobody fucks with somebody like that. We're gonna have to see in the future what happens with Dillon Danis and what happens with Logan Paul. Likely Logan's just gonna continue his life, while Dillon is more than likely gonna fall back into the shadows. People are gonna wanna forget about him quick, and with the way the internet works nowadays, they likely will. With all that being said though, boys, that is likely where I'm going to end the video. Thank you boys so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. The support on the channel has been insane recently. I'm sorry for the lack of uploads this month, but they will be coming back very, very soon. If you are new, definitely hit that sub button if you enjoyed it. I'm trying to hit 4K before the beginning of December when I get monetized again. If we could do that, that would be absolutely insane. Thank you so much to my Patreon member, Birdman Archives. You are the absolute man, bro. And with all that being being said, boys, I'm going to leave you with this clip of Logan Paul talking about Dillon Danis in his most recent WWE match.
Embarrassed himself so badly that he got dropped by his fight league. Dropped. So that means not only did I make him lose the fight, I made him lose his job. Ooh, unemployed, unhappy, unfulfilled. Sucks to be that guy.